Hello, I'm Bob Jeffrey, Global CEO and Chairman of JWT, and welcome to the next episode of Worldmakers. I can't think of somebody better for Worldmakers than you, Mario, because you are so involved in not just food, but the culture of food, the experience of food. I mean, you're a global brand now.
Well, it was a long ride. I mean, I went to high school in Spain. We arrived the day that Franco died. I saw food go from burnt garlic and overcooked pork fat to a really thoughtful, innovative world in Spain all by itself. Came back, went to college, studied Spanish theater of the Golden Age, hoping to move back to Spain, suddenly realizing that all of the Spanish theaters of the Golden Age were in fact closed at this point, so there was no theater to do, and went into cooking as a result. I love the passion of it, I love the excitement about it, I love the teamwork component of it, and I love the way that it's morphed since when I started. In the late 70s, cooking was the job you would get, kind of the last job. It was either right when you got out of the military and before you went to jail. But anybody could be convinced to peel potatoes on the lowest level. In the subsequent 30 years, it's become a hip field. It's become part of the entertainment and fashion world. And it's something that people think about as it's entertainment all by itself.
Right, I mean, when you talk about food becoming, or cooking being part of the entertainment and fashion world, that's something I'm very interested in because we work with so many different brands around the world, particularly in the food category and the spirits category. And without any exaggeration, none of our clients want to be defined by just doing traditional advertising. They want to be able to create an experience for the brand, engage with other brands that have aspirational type of experiences, and everything that you do more or less has been pioneering in that area. So, and again, you work with a lot of different brands. I mean, what advice would you give a brand to kind of follow in your footsteps?
Well, I think the key to making a strong brand is starting with a very simple one. A simple idea, something you can say in 1 or 2 sentences. We always said about the restaurants, if we can't decide what this restaurant and describe it to somebody is going to do in 2 or 3 sentences, then we should go back and try to simplify it. From that point, then you build out. So we started with 1 restaurant, now we have 19. Each of them is an individual restaurant. We haven't done the smart thing, which would have been build out brands. We built out 19 one-offs, but that gave us an overall brand that said something that we knew what we were doing.
Part of doing the different brands was thought out from the beginning, because I feel that adds to the level of authenticity with these brands, because it doesn't feel like a mass commoditized type of product.
And it also kept me very engaged on a daily basis. Had I done something, the same restaurant 3 times in a row, you could be assured that I would fall asleep at the switch and I just would lose interest in it.
Talk to me about technology and digital and social, because my sense is that you, in a unique way, seem to understand the power of that in terms of communications and have really leveraged that for not only the individual brands, but for your brand as well.
Well, my personal brand has always been one that has edified, or at least made more concrete, by the fact that whenever I've been on TV and whenever I've talked about something even as esoteric as a particular kind of rope from a particular kind of crab from one island in Sicily, I look straight across at my viewer and I look at them just like they're my pair. In the social media world, I do exactly the same thing. Someone says, how do I make polenta using a wheat product? And I said, well, polenta is made of corn, but if you want to make some kind of an interesting chickpea mush, it's very similar. So as opposed to saying you silly fool or trying to get all Tony with them, I speak directly to my customers in the Twitter world, in the social media world, which allows them to feel that they're having that conversation with me, which allows them also to integrate themselves into my dreams and me into theirs.
We do a trend study every year, and one of the trends we talked about in December in terms of the future was this notion that the world's population is expanding at such a significant rate that the ability of the world to create food to feed that population is going to be really, really problematic. And if I kind of scale that down to a smaller issue, I actually think if I were, say, in my teens and thinking about a career to pursue, I think food would be a great career, because that's one of the biggest challenges economically, culturally, and so on. But again, you seem to be innovating in this space when I think of what you do with even with the local food movement. So what motivated you to take, to really do that? Because it's more than just food.
Right. Well, watching the market as it's evolved. Keep in mind, when we grew up, water was free, food was cheap, and everything was around. Now we realize, like petroleum, like other things, it's going to be a limited resource, and it's going to take a lot of thought and a lot of innovation to make sure that, and or embrace the fact that in the 22nd century, we're probably going to be eating a lot of bugs. And not that bugs are bad, but bugs have not come onto the palate yet. And it's an interesting way of looking at the limited amount of protein that we're going to have to produce for the amount of people that we're going to have, and how many resources we've kind of thrown away in creating what's now grand beef culture, which is an interesting and fascinating part. But the amount of energy that it takes to make the kind of protein that you can get from beef takes so much more than it should. So we have to start thinking about not only the production of that, but also how to package it and make it more delicious to the people that are eventually going to eat things that are different than what they grew up on.
So just as a conclusion, there's 10,000 people from JWT watching this around the world. They work on a lot of different brands. Every brand that we work with, no matter what category, and they really want to do two things. They want innovation, and they want to take advantage of the fast-growing markets. What's some advice you would give to those people who are working on those brands? Like, what do they need to do to think differently to really be more open to those opportunities?
I think they need to think outside of the box in the way that they consider the importance of the social give back in every single launch. The launch that my kids are looking at is not the new sweet or sour or salt or tangy or action figure modified product. It's what it does when it becomes successful. Any product has to have a component that it's taking care of something else, whether it's the Amazon or whether it's saving the roses or whether it's taking care of high fructose corn syrup or local farmer. Social give back has to be at least 20% of the whole project to get my guys' attention. And these are 13 and 15-year-old boys who will soon be at the top of their market. When I watch that, and what drives them also crazy is that something that they buy, something even if they buy it for 100% pleasure, there has to be a physical well-being component to it. It has to be something that elevates their health and their potential.
Anything else you'd like to say about what you're doing?
Well, I think that life smiles upon those who smile upon life. If you can bring a little joy to every part of your day, or at least one part of every day that you live, you'll find that you generally have a higher tone of living.
That's a great philosophy. Great having you on the show, Mario, and congratulations for all your success. And thank you for tuning in to the latest episode of Worldmakers.